Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. And today we've got a great show for you. We're talking all about music.
It's a great topic. I think everyone loves music. And, well, there's so much type of music out there. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Exactly. So there's a little bit for everyone here. Even if you hate rock music, there might be something in it that you're going to be a fan of.
Right. So before we get started on the dialogue, we have a couple of words that we want to preview. So let's take a look at them now in vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so this word sounds a little bit funny. It looks like it should be pronounced differently. We say genre
Genre.
or genre.
This kind of sounds French. Is it French?
I think it comes from French. It's a GE word, so genre. It's a soft sound.
And what's a genre?
Well, a genre is like a category. So you could say genre of book or genre of music.
Oh, movies also have genres, right?
Yeah, they do. It's like horror movie is a genre.
Okay, or action or suspense, etc. So we're going to be looking at music genres on this occasion.
And some of these genre names actually have abbreviations. They're long words that we say in short forms. And this kind of abbreviation is called an acronym.
All right, so that's another word that we're looking at, acronym. So an acronym is a short version of a long word?
Yeah, usually it's just letters. Like USA is a very good acronym. It means United States of America.
All right, cool. So there are some acronyms as well in music, so that's what we're going to be looking at. And many other things, I guess, like DNA is an acronym.
Yeah, DNA is an acronym. UN is an acronym.
All right, great. So we're going to be looking at different genres of music. So let's listen to our dialogue for the first time. We're going to listen to a game show where people have to name the song and the genre.
Welcome back, music lovers, to I Love That Song, the game show where we test your musical knowledge to the extreme. Let's get started. Team A, guess this tune.
I'm carrying your love with me.
Carrying Your Love with Me by George Strait. The genre is country music.
You're right. 100 points to Team A. Now for our next cut.
All night long, let me see that thong. Thong song by Cisco. I believe the genre is R&B.
100 big points for Team B. For all of our viewers, the acronym R&B stands for Rhythm and Blues. On that note, DJ, play our next song.
It's just the radio. Superstar by the Carpenters.
And the genre?
Adult contemporary?
That's right, 100 points. Uh-oh, that sound means it's double or nothing. The songs are more difficult and the points are doubled. Let's hear our next song.
Too easy. That song is Kingslayer by the Finnish power metal group Nightwish.
You are correct. Very impressive, Team A. And it seems we have a tie. It's time now for the tiebreaker round. Each team will be played 3 songs, and they must tell us the genre of each song in less than 5 seconds. Team A, are you ready?
Ready.
Let's hear it.
Hip-hop, classical, and gothic metal.
You're right. Team B, the pressure is on. If you get all of them right, we will move on to sudden death. If you miss one, you lose. DJ, let's hear it.
Rap, disco, and
fun show, Marco. I kind of think I'd be good at this kind of game. I might win big.
Well, there were a lot of different types of genres in there and a lot of different music. I don't know, maybe not very popular. Like, for example, country music. I don't know if many people outside of the United States actually know about this.
Well, there might be different kinds of country music, but, you know, in America, one of the most famous country music musicians is Garth Brooks. And even if I didn't like his music, I grew up hearing it everywhere.
But you don't like it?
You know, it's one of those things that I like some kinds of country music, but it's a huge genre. That means there's lots of different kinds of music within country.
All right. Well, let's take a look at more of these genres and now in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so we talked about country music.
Yeah.
Now, this is mostly in the United States, right?
In the South especially, because there's a long tradition of country music in the southern United States.
So it's very characteristic to have guitars and
A little bit of twang, maybe.
twang. What is twang?
It's a way of saying a word. So I could say, I'm from Texas, or I could say, I'm from Texas.
That's twang.
That's twang.
So kind of like an accent, a southern accent.
Yeah, so Garth Brooks has a famous twang. I got friends in love. You know, that's a very famous song of his where he's twangy.
Very southern.
Yeah.
All right, so we have country music, and then we saw another genre, which is R&B.
Okay, this is a little bit more up my alley. That means this is more of an interest
All right.
of mine. Yeah.
And R&B is an acronym for...
Rhythm and blues.
All right, so the R&B that we know now, what would be some examples of those artists?
Well, a really famous artist is John Legend, who's been touring the world with his new album, and that kind of music is R&B. So we're talking about a kind of music that mixes jazz traditions with rhythm. So that means drums and bass.
Okay.
Dum, dum,
Right.
dum, dum. That's rhythm.
So you have rhythm and blues. So like the name says, R&B, very popular nowadays. Oh, and then we moved on to something heavier, something more like rock style, which is metal.
Metal. Okay, I'm not really sure why they call it metal, but metal is a very, very popular kind of music.
So it divides into different categories, right? In this song, we saw that it was power metal.
Yeah.
But you also have like heavy metal.
Well, because metal is such a broad category, it's a big category,
Yeah.
it's hard to say what certain groups are unless you're really a fan and you follow. But there are many different kinds of metal out there. And so if you're interested, I would check it out on Wikipedia.
Yeah, or let us know if you know what's the difference between power metal and gothic metal and electronic metal. So there are so many different types now. But moving on to our next genre, we also saw something that everyone probably knows nowadays, and that's hip-hop.
Yeah, hip hop is a great, great, and very interesting kind of music. It grew out of a lot of people who were listening to jazz in the late 80s, especially in New York, I think, Brooklyn. And it's kind of interesting in the sense that you take these old records, these old vinyls, and you slow everything down.
Right.
Right? So you change the speed. So a normal song goes from down, 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 down to down, down, down,
Yeah.
down.
And then you had like some bass in there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then some lyrics, and you have yourself something like hip-hop. So a very famous hip-hop artist nowadays would be 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Or, for example, also Nelly, right? Another
Yeah.
famous hip-hop artist.
Yeah.
So we have hip-hop, and, well, it's kind of similar, I don't know, very similar to rap almost.
Yeah, but it's different in that the way the process for making this kind of music is quite different. Yeah, rap tends to be very lyric heavy, whereas hip hop is very beat heavy, I think.
Right. So interesting. Now we've seen a lot of these different genres, but of course there's so many more that we can't really look at all of them in one single podcast.
That's what our website's for. You can put your favorite music genres up on our website and practice your English.
Exactly. So, well, why don't we listen to this dialogue for the second time? Let's slow it down just a little bit, and then we'll come back and look at some more phrases.
Welcome back, music lovers, to I Love That Song, the game show where we test your musical knowledge to the extreme. Let's get started. Team A, guess this tune.
Carrying Your Love with Me by George Strait. The genre is country music.
You're right. 100 points to Team A. Now for our next cut.
Thong Song by Cisco. I believe the genre is R&B.
100 big points for Team B. For all of our viewers, the acronym R&B stands for Rhythm and Blues. On that note, DJ, play our next song.
Superstar by the Carpenters.
And the genre?
Adult contemporary?
That's right, 100 points. Uh-oh, that sound means it's double or nothing. The songs are more difficult and the points are doubled. Let's hear our next song.
Too easy. That song is Kingslayer by the Finnish power metal group Nightwish.
You are correct. Very impressive, Team A. And it seems we have a tie. It's time now for the tiebreaker round. Each team will be played 3 songs, and they must tell us the genre of each song in less than 5 seconds. Team A, are you ready?
Ready.
Let's hear it.
Hip-hop, classical, and gothic metal.
You're right. Team B, the pressure is on. If you get all of them right, we will move on to sudden death. If you miss one, you lose. DJ, let's hear it.
Rap, disco, and...
So it isn't a true English pod lesson if we don't give you a couple of phrases and words to make you sound more fluent. So that's the purpose of this next portion of our show.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so the phrases that we're going to look at now on Fluency Builder are the ones that we saw in the dialogue, but we can use, of course, outside of music or outside of a game show. And there was an interesting one that he mentioned when he said double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
It's double or nothing.
Well, this is an interesting phrase because it, I think, comes from gambling and betting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a way for us to say, well, you could double your money, but if you have a bad answer, if you lose this round, you don't get anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, you do see a lot of people say maybe they're betting or they're playing a game. That person loses and says, okay, let's go double or nothing. So give me one more shot to win back my money.
Right. So if I say, okay, Marco, you need to tell me the capital of Brazil, you have $50. If you get the answer right, you get $100. But if you get the answer wrong, you get 0.
Right. That's double or nothing. All right. Interesting phrase. What else do we have?
We've got a great one here called tiebreaker.
So a tiebreaker.
Yeah, a tiebreaker. It's a thing. And sometimes in games, some people have the same score. They have the same amount of points.
So they're tied.
They're tied. A tie means you have the same number. And if you want to win, you need one winner. You have to have a tiebreaker to decide.
So it could be a question, or like we saw here, a tiebreaker round.
Yeah.
So to decide on a winner.
And this is all or nothing because if you get the answer right, you win. If you don't, you lose. It doesn't matter if you were tied before.
Right. All right, a tiebreaker. And we have one more phrase, and this one is really interesting. The pressure is on. So if I say the pressure is on,
it almost sounds painful.
Yeah, it does. Well, does it mean that I am being pressured, or what is this?
Well, so it's a good question. The important thing to look at here is the word on, because pressure has this kind of companion word to put pressure on something or to put pressure on someone. And so it's the way we say it in English, and it means that you're going to really take things seriously from this point on.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, the Chicago Bulls were at the peak, the height of their fame, and they were just a wonderful team. And oftentimes, you'd hear the announcers say, there's 5 seconds left on the clock. The pressure is on Michael Jordan to win the game.
All right. So the opportunity for the team to win all depended on Michael Jordan.
Right. So the pressure, all of this stuff is on him, his shoulders. So he has to score the point to win the game.
Okay. This is a very interesting phrase. Why don't we take a look at some other examples of how we could use the pressure is on?
Example 1.
Carl is really stressed out lately. The pressure of the entire project is on him since his promotion.
Example 2.
The pressure is on the president to guide his country out of the recession.
Example 3.
The pressure is on our entire team to successfully come up with a new product for the Asian market within a month.
All right, great examples, great phrases. I think it's pretty clear now, right?
It is, and to make sure that we understood the whole dialogue, I think we should take another listen to it at a normal speed. And when we come back, we'll be talking a little bit more about one of my favorite topics, music. Welcome back, music lovers, to I Love That Song, the game show where we test your musical knowledge to the extreme. Let's get started. Team A, guess this tune.
I'm carrying your love with me.
Carrying Your Love With Me by George Strait. The genre is country music.
You're right. 100 points to Team A. Now for our next cut.
All night long, let me see that thong. Song by Cisco. I believe the genre is R&B.
100 big points for Team B. For all of our viewers, the acronym R&B stands for Rhythm and Blues. On that note, DJ, play our next song.
It's just the radio.
Superstar by the Carpenters.
And the genre?
Adult contemporary?
That's right, 100 points. Uh-oh, that sound means it's double or nothing. The songs are more difficult and the points are doubled. Let's hear our next song.
Too easy. That song is Kingslayer by the Finnish power metal group Nightwish.
You are correct. Very impressive, Team A. And it seems we have a tie. It's time now for the tiebreaker round. Each team will be played 3 songs, and they must tell us the genre of each song in less than 5 seconds. Team A, are you ready?
Ready.
Let's hear it.
Hip hop, classical, and gothic metal.
You're right. Team B, the pressure is on. If you get all of them right, we will move on to sudden death. If you miss one, you lose. DJ, let's hear it.
Rap, disco, and
All right, so we have music, different music genres. Which one are you mostly into?
As a hard question, I have very different interests. I like classical music. I also like jazz, but I also like rock, and I also like R&B. So it really
I guess it depends on your mood, huh?
Absolutely.
Now, they say that music does really influence people's moods.
They did a study, some doctors in America did a study to see if heart patients, people who have heart problems, could be positively affected by music. And the results said that yes, it can be helpful.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So maybe it helps them relax or...
Yeah, it says if you're listening to the radio and a song that you like comes on the radio, you hear this song, your heart pumps more oxygen to your brain.
Wow.
So it means it actually makes you happier.
Wow. Mm-hmm. What about when they play music for unborn babies? Like they'll put little headphones on a mother's belly and they'll play like classical music because supposedly it'll make the baby smart.
It's
or
like baby Mozart or something.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think talking to kids and giving them books when they're little probably helps a little bit more, but I'm not a doctor, so that I can't say.
Well, many people do argue now that they don't make music like they used to. I guess they say that, music that was made before, the lyrics were more profound. They were real musicians that were composers and they wrote lyrics. But now you just get a lot of temporary music that doesn't really transcend into the future. What do you think?
I totally disagree. I think the last 10 years have seen a really amazing growth in the music industry because more people are communicating. The internet allows us to hear all sorts of things from all over the world. And so we have great musicians who can listen to music from Mali and they can listen to music from India, and they have all these different influences that were not there before. And so I think it's the opposite. I think a lot of new pathways in music have opened up because of the technology revolution.
Wow, interesting. Well, what do you guys think? Listeners, come to our website, englishpod.com. Leave your questions and comments and tell us what you think. Do you think maybe music has become better in the last decade, or do you think maybe it's not so good? Well, you do have bad artists, right?
You always have bad artists. Yeah.
So-
It's the bad ones, they fade into history. You never
Right.
hear from them again. So
The power of music. Music is a gift. It is a language that everyone can understand. It speaks to the heart, not just to the ears. Music is all around us. It is in the sound of birds, the rhythm of the rain, and even in the beat of our hearts. It makes life beautiful and brings people together. There was a boy named Adam. Adam loved music. He lived in a small village where life was simple. Every morning, Adam would wake up to the sound of birds singing outside his window. He called them nature's musicians. Their songs made him feel happy and ready to start the day. Adam did not have a lot of money. He could not buy fancy instruments. But he had a small drum made from an old box and sticks. He played his drum every evening. His friends in the village loved his music. They would gather around him and clap their hands to the rhythm. One day, an old man came to the village. He carried a guitar on his back. The man sat near the market and started playing his guitar. The sound was magical. Adam was amazed. He had never seen or heard a guitar before. He wanted to learn to play it, but he felt shy. The old man noticed Adam watching him. He smiled and called Adam over. "Do you like music, young boy?" he asked. Adam nodded. "Would you like to learn the guitar?" Adam's eyes lit up. "But I do not have a guitar," he said sadly. The old man laughed. "You don't need one to start. You can learn by watching and practicing with me." For the next few weeks, Adam spent time with the old man. He learned how to hold the guitar and play simple tunes. The old man taught him songs about love, kindness, and hope. "Music is not just about sound," the old man said. "It is about feelings. When you play, you tell a story." Adam practiced every day. His friends and family noticed his progress. They encouraged him to keep learning. Adam began to dream big. He wanted to share music with everyone in the village. One evening, Adam and the old man planned a small concert. They invited everyone in the village. Adam played his drum, and the old man played the guitar. People clapped, danced, and sang along. The music brought smiles to their faces. Even the elders, who rarely showed emotion, tapped their feet to the rhythm. After the concert, the old man handed his guitar to Adam. "This is for you," he said. "Keep playing and never stop sharing music." Adam was speechless. He hugged the old man and promised to make him proud. From that day, Adam's life changed. He became the village musician. He played at weddings, festivals, and even on ordinary days to bring joy to people. Years later, Adam grew up and became a music teacher. He remembered the lessons from the old man and taught them to his students. "Music is for everyone," he said. "It connects us. It makes us feel alive. Music is more than just entertainment. It heals sadness, celebrates happiness, and helps us express emotions. It is a bridge between people, no matter where they come from." Adam's story teaches us that music is not about having expensive instruments or perfect skills. It is about passion, practice, and sharing joy. Whether it is singing, clapping, or tapping your feet, anyone can make music. So, the next time you hear a song, remember its power. Let it move your heart, and if you can, share it with others. Music is a gift, and the world needs more of it.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A kind of literary or artistic work.
Genre.
When a person pretends to play the guitar when listening to music.
Air guitar.
Abbreviations.
Acronym.
To sing without any instruments or music.
A cappella.
Extra time to determine a winner after a tie.
Sudden death.
A demand by an audience for an additional performance at the end of a concert.
Encore.
The outcome or result depends on you.
The pressure is on.
A part of a song repeated after each verse.
Chorus.
A person or thing that gains wide appeal or fame.
Hit.
Used when you want to bet twice as much. Double or nothing. Let's try that faster. To sing without any instruments or music.
A cappella.
A part of a song repeated after each verse.
Chorus.
Extra time to determine a winner after a tie.
Sudden death.
A kind of literary or artistic work.
Genre.
When a person pretends to play the guitar when listening to music.
Air guitar.
A demand by an audience for an additional performance at the end of a concert.
Encore.
A person or thing that gains wide appeal or fame.
Hit.
The outcome or result depends on you.
The pressure is on.
Abbreviations.
Acronym.
Used when you want to bet twice as much. Double or nothing. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Genre. I think mystery is one of the most fascinating literary genres. Genre. I was reading in the newspaper that there are over 200 music genres in the world. Genre. My family doesn't like to watch certain movie genres such as horror, musicals, and action. Acronym. Did you know that LASER is the acronym for light amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation? Acronym. The most well-known acronym in the world is OK, although people still aren't sure what it stands for. Acronym. ATM is a well-known acronym for Automatic Teller Machine. The pressure is on. The pressure is on the president to guide his country out of the recession. The pressure is on. Carl is really stressed out lately. The pressure of the entire project is on him since his promotion. The pressure is on. The pressure is on our entire team to successfully come up with a new product for the Asian market within a month. Sudden death. The soccer game is in sudden death now. The first player to score wins the game. Sudden death. We went out to a bar last night to watch the football game. The winner was decided by sudden death. Sudden death. What an exciting volleyball game that was. I can't believe the game was decided by sudden death.
Double or nothing. Double or nothing. Double or nothing.